so prophetic this was.
And Undisputed. Yeah, we co-host, but this is your show. So I owe you a little gratitude. But Joy better not ask me. I mean, Joy, my girl, but Joy better not ask me when I'm coming back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, me and Joy cool, but we go, you know.
How would I not know how hard it is to do the show I work on? You have to constantly reaffirm that you are good enough, that you belong there, and then always prove it. So I would just always say you gotta do twice the work to get half the opportunity. But that, to me, the mentality I've always had on it is that's just gonna make me better. So that's why I'm excellent. Because I had to be. I couldn't be average, I couldn't be okay, I couldn't be late, I couldn't complain, I couldn't say no. Now I do.
Two cities have glommed all the champions.
Did not see that in the original headline. The lawsuit also alleges Skip Bayless, who is married, harassed women with lingering hugs, kisses, and gropes, even offering his hairstylist $1.5 million to sleep with him, claiming he could change her life. Okay. Not much levity here yet. Goodness.
Between Tampa and Los Angeles, it's like we got all. I mean, two cities have glommed all the championships.
I know what I'm capable of, and that big rack of hers that she showed off constantly. It's just, and that peanut butter skin with that big rack. Like, Jay, keep your distance.
Well, guys, all I got to say to you is that I'm really and truly not surprised by this. And I'm talking about this Fox Sports sex scandal involving Joy Taylor primarily. But, of course, there's a lot more in this lawsuit, or at least, how do I say, there's a lot more here than might meet the eye. 42-page lawsuit that I'm going to link in the description box. I'm going to summarize it for you guys. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on it over the course of this video. But I also want to say this right here. There's going to be a lot more on this and a lot more to come, because a lot more things are going to come out. And also, to go on top of this, there are a lot of different angles here that a lot of people are looking at and they're completely misconstruing. Now, before we fully get started, I want you guys to know that this video right here from Marcellus Wiley will be in the description box. Not exactly an impressive video, but for the most part, he does say something in there that I think is pretty daggone striking at roughly the 16-17 minute mark, which I will briefly bring up over the course of this video here. And, of course, the whole 2-hour-long live stream that Jason Whitlock did, because as you guys can obviously see, Jason Whitlock's got to talk about a woman with peanut butter skin and a very, very large set of cans. That right there went absolutely viral yesterday for reasons, I guess, but I need to give you guys my thoughts on this and also summarize what's going on. And yes, like I said before, there will be more videos on this topic, probably later on this week and probably even next week, because this situation is going to be out there for a while. So where do we begin? So a hairdresser, a hairstylist that works for Fox Sports, Joy Taylor's hairstylist, which, by the way, Joy Taylor, apparently, according to this document, came from Miami, which, of course, I went and looked through this right here. And, yes, she's actually connected to Miami. Many people, I think it's Dan Lebatard that she was connected to. She goes out to L.A. She basically works what could be, you guys can guess, a temporary job for Fox Sports, and she ends up staying. And, of course, the information that's inside this particular lawsuit, a woman by the name of Faraji, I'm not going to try to pronounce this because it's probably going to, it's going to come off sounding a certain way. It's going to sound like I'm butchering her name on purpose when that right there is obviously not the intention. Alleges that Joy Taylor, and, of course, there's a lot of receipts in this lawsuit, dates, times, all that type of stuff there. I mean, it's pretty daggone juicy. It insinuates that Joy Taylor has, let's just say, she's been moving up the chain the Kamala Harris way. She's apparently been with the guy who's in charge of the content, Charlie Dixon. She's also been involved with, or currently involved with, Emmanuel Acho, who will be coming up over the course of this video here, because if there's anybody out there who got humiliated in this entire situation, it was definitely Emmanuel Acho. For example, this video here, which makes him look like a complete total simp, he chose to delete, and for obvious reasons.
Just got done with rehearsal for the new show Speak, and I got to take a moment to shout out my co-host Joy Taylor. A woman, a black woman, daily show, sports. Do you all realize how hard it is to get into the position that she is in? So often there's misogyny and sexism running rampant in sports, and we don't even care what women have to say in sports. But Joy is not only in the position on television as a woman, as a black woman, but as an opinionist. So not just asking men what they think, but providing her own unique and distinct insight. It's hard to do, and Joy, you have done it. So congratulations. Looking forward to working with you, and hope y'all tune in. 4:30 to 6.
And of course, you've got all the other stuff that Joy Taylor herself has said, which kind of sort of indicates that, well, let me just play this montage for you.
Or if a man took you this place on a first date, what you would do. And I'm telling you, like, every interaction that I have with people now, in some way or another, these things come up. Can we just keep it a buck? If they're fine enough, if they're funny enough, or if their financial status is what you want. Fine, funny, fucking money. You're throwing all boundaries, standards, all that shit you talked on Instagram about how you would never, and this woman.
I took it a step further, as I always do, and I dubbed them princess boys because clearly they want the princess treatment. And being a woman of substance and means, I can provide that for them. Now, there's things that I want in exchange for taking care of a princess boy. And, if that is what men are interested in behaving like, I feel like I can do that. I can be that person for you. I can give you an experience you've never had. So they were not very happy with me about that one.
I like the movement. I'm not going to partake.
And, of course, the fact that Mr. Acho looks like a simp throughout this entire situation, throughout this entire ordeal. Yes, he is definitely going to come up in this conversation. But apparently, it hasn't just been her that he's been with. Now, something very, very odd about this particular lawsuit that I found extremely odd was there were certain names that were obviously left out of the lawsuit. For example, Nick Wright. Now, I want to say this, and I want to be very, very brief with this. Nick Wright not being named in this lawsuit doesn't surprise me. I mean, seriously, who the hell would sleep with this? Yes, I know he's married, but Nick Wright's got the same exact issue that Matt Walsh has. Their wives use him strictly for breeding purposes and breeding purposes alone. Seriously, guys, there is no bigger joke on the world of sports than a man who is ugly as sin, whose last name is Wright, and gets every damn thing wrong. It's a serious joke. I mean, this right here is proof. Nick Wright, Nick Wrong, wherever you might want to call him, is proof, 100% proof that God is in fact real, and he does also have a sense of humor. Just saying. And somehow or another, Colin Cowherd eerily is mentioned in the lawsuit, and I'll get to Skip Bayless too, because I know what you're thinking. Colin Cowherd is mentioned in the lawsuit. But Colin Cowherd is mentioned in the sense that he's always been kind and professional. So everybody else in the lawsuit has been mentioned as sleeping with or trying to sleep with Joy Taylor, and also including the hairdresser. But yet, somehow or another, Colin Cowherd, we have to throw that out there. Now, Colin Cowherd, I think, is a special case, as well as Shannon Sharpe. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to be talking about both of them over the course of this week, especially in regards to this case, and tell you what I think is really going on there. There's a reason why it is, and I want you guys to check out the Jason Whitlock live stream, which, of course, some of which will be pulled from, including some of this video here. But Whitlock had some very interesting things to say about Colin Cowherd and his situation, and why it is that he thinks that maybe it's possible that Shannon Sharpe may have been the orator of this, at least in the sense that, leave my name out the lawsuit was probably said to Joy Taylor. Now, my personal thoughts on Shannon Sharpe, like I said, it's a little bit deeper. My belief is it's pretty daggone simple. The two have got dirt on one another, and obviously one person's going to say, look, I don't want this information to get out. This entire lawsuit is kind of confusing. I'm not going to lie to you, because the way it has been framed is as if to say it's Joy Taylor herself that is filing this lawsuit, which we'll get to here in a second, but in reality it's not her. It's the hairdresser, Miss Faraji. Also in said lawsuit, it's also assessed that Joy Taylor was in fact married, and that her husband got evidence of an affair or multiple affairs, and he ultimately decided to say, you know what, I don't want to go any further with you, kick her to the curb. Also, something else too, Miss Faraji, she claims that she was approached by Skip Bayless, and that Skip Bayless offered her $1.5 million to sleep with her. Funny, very, very funny AI generated bit was put up on the air that I'm going to play for you guys now. Obviously for comedic purposes, not real, so YouTube, please don't strike the video.
I wanted to address the hairdresser in the room. Ever since I can remember, I had to watch Joy get passed around like a blunt in a soul food kitchen. And I wanted those sweet, sweet mommy milkers. I wanted that voluptuous vixen, that dirty slut. But did I exist? Was my influence large enough to suck me off at the Christmas party? Apparently not, bitch. I'm the dude you blackmail. And then I saw the hairdresser. I thought I can get this one. I'm powerful. 1.5 million for blue balls.
It makes me think about all those conversations, all those arguments that he had with Shannon Sharp on Undisputed. It makes me wonder if it was all really and truly about sports. But there's also another very interesting incident involving Skip Bayless that Jason Whitlock talked about that I remember when I was listening to this. Now, let me play some of this for you guys. Relatively lengthy bit, but let me just go ahead and play this for you guys so that way you guys can get an idea of exactly the kind of drama that's going on backstage at Fox Sports.
To remember, I'm at Fox Sports at the time, and I ran into some friction because I didn't want a woman on a show that I was doing at Fox Sports. And so this is in 2015-16 at the very beginning. And I can remember they brought Joy Taylor in for a test on the show that I was doing. Yeah, this is at the time when I was going to be initially doing my own show, and Cowherd was doing something else. And just keeping it all the way real, Charlie Dixon wanted her to be in the test. And I didn't think the test went well. And I let everybody know, hey, I don't think this test went well. I don't want, this isn't the direction I wanted to go. I was trying to play nice and trying to meet them halfway in terms of okay, you guys are insisting on a woman being on this show because that's what everybody wants. And I was like, well, you need to bring a grown-ass woman on the show if it's going to be with me. It can't be at this time. This is 10 years ago. Joy Taylor's probably 25, 26 years old. You're talking about, I got a lot of discipline, but 25-year-old with them big cans and that peanut butter skin who has nothing to say, at some point I'm going to lose respect. And I'm like, well, the only thing she's got to offer is them big cans and that peanut butter skin. And so if I got to put up with this, I might as well enjoy them big cans.
I mean, at least he's being honest. I mean, I probably would feel the exact same way, just saying.
And so I said, no, I don't want to put myself in that position. And so I can remember, I brought in Bonnie Bernstein.
Real quick, guys, editing Paul here, editing Claymore here. I want to throw this out here about Miss, I think her name is Bumstein. This lady here, while not bad looking, at least for Fox Sports standards, because Fox is all about putting the ladies out there who've got like nice legs and stuff. I mean, you can't really blame them. It's actually a Roger L. staple, and yes, it's Fox Sports and not Fox News, but still, though, it's kind of a staple of Fox. The thing is this right here. It looks to me like maybe what Fox was trying to do was, once again, trying to pull out some form of diversity, equity, inclusion by putting Joy Taylor out front. I mean, you got to ask yourself a question, guys. Is Joy Taylor even talented? No, it's like Jason said, it's about that peanut butter skin and them great big giant cans. Just saying.
Bernstein's around my age, a few years younger, perhaps. But I was like, she's been around the block. She actually has been involved in sports media for a long time. She might have something of substance to offer. And the test we did with Bonnie Bernstein went much better. And I was like, if we're going to go, they were adamant, no Bonnie Bernstein. Skip Bayless insinuated, flat out, somewhat stated that Jenny Taft was having some sort of inappropriate relationship with Shannon Sharp. He said something about seeing her come out of Shannon's dressing room or something like that. And she got upset on air, but off air, as soon as that show was over, she ran upstairs and lit in to the executives. One executive in particular, about this. Skip Bayless basically just accused me of sleeping, and Jenny Taft is married, and so she was irate, and this happened on air. And that was my first clue, like, oh, this dude is jealous of Shannon Sharp, and he's seeing ghosts everywhere.
Jenny Taft obviously did not want anything out there suggesting that she might be screwing around with somebody who works at FS1. She went in there, she raised 15 counts of hell, and of course, nothing ended up happening. Skip Bayless kept his job. But I think Jenny Taft is also the one who put Skip in his place at the end of a segment, which is probably the reason why Skip did that. Skip Bayless is obviously pretty daggone petty. You guys can obviously see that. But still, though, $1.5 million to offer to a woman to sleep with him. And by the way, it's alleged that Skip Bayless even said something along the lines of, isn't your father Muslim? Doesn't he have like 3 or 4 wives or something like that there? Yeah, obviously these people who claim to be woke are not really and truly woke. I've always told you guys that these people with all this woke nonsense, for the most part, is performative. It's designed to get cheap heat and divide the audience. And they don't seem to realize that they're actually dividing the nation in the process. Of course, some of these people do in fact know this. They're part of the agenda, and quite frankly, they don't care. But this entire whole bit makes Joy Taylor look the worst. And I did say that I was going to talk about Joy Taylor, and I'm going to talk about Emmanuel Acho too, but more so towards the end. The thing about Joy Taylor is this here. Nobody believes that Joy Taylor would be capable of doing this, that she would be capable of screwing around with all these dudes, even though some of the things that she has said seems to indicate that this woman is obviously much, much wilder than people may have expected. You're talking about Charles Dixon, the guy who actually runs the content. You're talking about Emmanuel Acho, the guy that she's apparently currently with now. You're talking about all these other guys that have been assessed, have been sleeping with her. There's also this bit about Charlie Dixon grabbing Miss Faraji's behind and Joy Taylor saying something along the lines of, get the hell over it, that type of stuff there. It does not surprise me this type of crap is going on. What does surprise me is how it is that everybody is looking at Joy Taylor and they're thinking that maybe she might be a victim. Joy Taylor is not a victim. She is not a victim at all. As a matter of fact, she probably was never qualified for the job. Now, I want to say something real quick. A lot of people are making fun of Jason because they're saying that Jason's like the one person who never got to, the way I think about this is this right here. If the office slut is boning everybody but you, take that as a badge of honor. Because that means that, yes, what he said...
That big rack of hers that she showed off constantly. It's just, and that peanut butter skin with that big rack. Like, Jay, keep your distance.
Shows a lot of restraint. And of course, there's more from that as well. Something else, too, that needs to be said about Joy Taylor, and they should have probably seen this coming. Maybe Fox Sports, maybe the guys up there didn't really care, but apparently during her initial interview that she did with Charles Dixon and also Skip Bayless, apparently Skip Bayless did not take too kind to Joy. It had to do with this provocative outfit that she wore. Now, maybe it's Miami culture, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If you've ever been to Miami, then you know it's Sin City. Women are not wearing any clothes. I mean, even the nuns aren't wearing clothes in Miami. I just figured I would go ahead and point that out. Make up down to Miami in another year or so. But then again, at the same time, though, I'm nowhere near as degenerate as I was 10 years ago. The point is, they should have seen this whole shtick from the very, very start. And many people are assessing that what's really going on here is that Joy Taylor wants this out there so that way she's got leverage over the heads at Fox Sports, which I'll get to here in a second. The point is this right here. Joy Taylor, it doesn't appear like she should have been hired to begin with. Basically what's happening here is that regardless how you cut this, Joy Taylor is going to have a leverage at the overlords on Fox. She's probably going to try to turn this into some type of Me Too situation. But I did say that there was one person here who was absolutely cucked and humiliated more than anybody else. And that person would be, yes, Emmanuel Acho. You guys obviously saw that video earlier, which, by the way, he took down. You guys obviously saw the videos that were shared by him that were posted to his Twitter account that he's been trying to get rid of. And of course, there's also this other photo of him inside her house, those shoes on, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't care who the hell Emmanuel Acho is screwing around with. Maybe he's 100% full-blown in love with Joy Taylor, and maybe they're having a great life together. Maybe she doesn't even cheat on him. Who the hell knows? Maybe she used everybody else to get up there. As a matter of fact, there was also another bit that was talked about by Steven Jackson, where he said that if a girl wanted a certain type of scholarship or something, she would approach 3 NBA players and she would get $5,000 a month out of them by doing exactly what you guys are seeing now. These right here are business transactions. This right here is a business transaction. Joy Taylor is using what the hell is between her legs as a way to get money and get power and get influence. That right there is the truth about Joy Taylor. That is what she is doing here. And the lawsuit from Ms. Faraji seems to assert that. A lot of receipts in that lawsuit. Can't go through it all. It's 42 pages long. It's very, very long. It's very, very boring to read, but also to go on top of that, extremely insightful. So what I'll do is I'll link the article that has the lawsuit and probably the PDF of the lawsuit itself for you guys, so that way you guys can read it if you guys want to. But I advise you guys, please check out that live stream, and I also advise you guys watch the Marcellus Wiley bit, which of course is what we're going to go through now. So Acho, in my opinion, has always struck me as the kind of guy that, I'll just put it this way here. It's kind of like with Colin Cowherd. I've said this about Cowherd before, that Colin Cowherd was the kid that for whatever reason the bullies chose not to bully. They always just seemed to gloss over. He's definitely somebody who deserves to be dunked inside of a toilet and been given a swirling. He's definitely somebody that you want stuff in their locker. They probably didn't do it, probably because of the way he is, the meanness factor. But of course, if you just simply put him in there, you'll find out that he's no tougher than any of the other wusses out there. The point is this right here. Someone like Cowherd, and I know I'm talking about Cowherd, not Acho, is that they find a way to stay above the fray. They find a way to not get hit when, in reality, they typically tend to have the most amount of dirt on them, or they know the most. So they're a little bit luckier than they probably should be. Acho, on the other hand, has probably got the same exact thing. I remember that they even tried him on The Bachelorette at one point in time. They've been trying to launch him for a very long time as a personality in the mainstream. He doesn't really have any real true opinions or real true thoughts. He's not what you call based. He's somebody who just goes whatever the way the wind blows. So the point is this right here. A lot of people are making fun of Acho, and some people are even viewing this as revenge for Marcellus Wiley. Let me explain what I mean. I said before that there was a small bit in the Marcellus Wiley piece, about 17, 18 minutes in. Like I'm still getting information on this myself, where Marcellus Wiley has to seriously tell the audience he's talking to, don't call him a snake in the grass. Please don't do that there, because many people believe that Emmanuel Acho is the reason why Marcellus Wiley is not an FS1 anymore. Jason Whitlock claims that it was a contract dispute with his situation, but in the case of Marcellus Wiley, he was just outright replaced, outright let go. Many people believe that Acho is a snake, and many people believe that this right here is kind of like serves you right. I'm not going to go that far, but I do find it, for some odd reason, and I would never want anybody to lose their job. I would never want, unless of course they were incompetent. But something about Acho has always told me, has always screamed dishonest. I'm just simply pointing out there that a cuck obviously got cucked, and a cuck obviously got caught, and a cuck obviously looks like he's a cuck. Quite frankly, embarrassing. So what happens going forward? Well, what happens going forward is that more and more information comes out. Skip Bayless is no longer at, well, I don't know if he's no longer at Fox. I don't really watch Fox Sports anymore. I check out these guys on YouTube. But Skip Bayless has always been somebody who evoked a massive amount of emotion. And, of course, he's been married to his wife, Geraldine. And a lot of people were wondering what's going to happen there. A lot of conversations are going to be had. $1.5 million just to get blue balls. Absolutely hilarious. By the way, something about that story doesn't actually jive, but still it's kind of funny to think about. The fact of the matter is, there's going to be a lot more crap to come out as a result of this lawsuit. You're going to be hearing a lot of things. And by the way, you're also going to be hearing a lot of back and forth, which is part of the reason why it is that I've chosen to kind of spread this out over the course of the week. Colin Cowherd's situation here, the Shannon Sharp situation here is definitely something to dive into, because obviously you got people out there who, quite frankly, are getting misconceptions about this entire story, this entire situation, and they're thinking that everybody at FS1 is just straight up screwing Joy Taylor, when in reality, I think what the hell is going on here is that Joy Taylor has got dirt on everybody. It just so happens to be that she screwed a few guys on their way to the top. But like I said, we shall get into that there a little bit later on in the week. This situation to me, I think, is absolutely embarrassing. But then again, at the same time, given what we know now, I don't think anybody should be surprised. With that there being said, guys, make sure you guys please hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, sign off in the comment section. I got to go to the VA this afternoon. I'm probably going to be gone most of the day. I'm going to try to have a video out tomorrow, at least on the Shannon Sharp side of things. If it's not out tomorrow, I'll probably replace it with my take on the Superman trailer and the garbage that's yet to come in 2025 to go along with the video that I have on OF being predatory. Unless something is actually trending, I may move that one to the weekend. I'm not sure, but of course, over the weekend, this story is probably going to get spicier. So yeah, there's probably going to be more videos to come on this. So make sure you guys stick around for all of it. With that being said, once again, like button, subscribe, share. I'll see you guys later.